Hey kids, it's Pastor Nora, and today we're going to be teaching a brand new Bible verse from our gospel lesson that you heard in church today. And the Bible verse that we're learning is this: "And when Jesus saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, 'Do not weep.'" Now, Nora, do you know what weeping means?
Crying.
Yeah, crying. Do not cry. And the reason why this woman in our text was crying is because her son had just recently died. And that was heartbreaking. It always is. Death is never easy. But the reason why Jesus said to her, "Do not weep," wasn't because he wanted her to just stop crying. Because it's understandable when death strikes us, tears come. Even Jesus wept when his own friend Lazarus died. But the reason why Jesus said, "Do not weep," is because he was filled with compassion. And do you know what compassion means?
Mercy.
Yeah, it's like mercy. It's Christ's love. And he wanted to do something about this. And he did do something about this because he rose that woman's son back up from death itself. Where the son was completely dead, Jesus rose him back up. And that's what Jesus' compassion compels him to do. Jesus' compassion compels him to help us, to save us according to his good and gracious will. And in this life, even though we do suffer from sickness and pain and even death, Jesus promises us that these things won't always be this way because he's coming back. And when he comes back, all these things that bring tears to our eyes will be put away forever when Jesus wipes away that final tear from our eyes. So when Jesus sees us, he says, "Do not weep." This is nothing but love bursting forth and erupting into our lives from his most beautiful heart, because he is there to help us and save us and comfort us according to his good and gracious will. So why don't we learn this Bible verse, and we'll say it 3 times. And the only motion I have is the part where it says, "Do not weep." I want you to go like this with your eyes and imagine Jesus wiping away the tears from your eyes, because that's what he does. That's what he will. That's what he does now, and that's what he will do when we finally see him face to face. So let's learn this Bible verse, and again, it's this: "And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, 'Do not weep.'" Well, it looks like Cooper the cat's going to help us.
There's just a little tail.
Yeah, with his little tail, yup.
Like a rat.
All right, let's learn this. And actually, I just thought of a few more motions. So the first part, when the Lord saw her, go like this. And he had compassion on her, hug your closest neighbor like that. And then we'll do the weeping, the wiping of tears like that. You ready? All right.
Or Jello's teaching me to do it different.
Oh, okay. So let's learn it. Ready? All right. "And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, 'Do not weep.' And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, 'Do not weep.'" One more time. "And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said to her, 'Do not weep.'" All right, well, that's this week's Bible verse. Tune in next week for next week's Bible verse. Until next time, go in peace and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God. Mwah.